Our group focused on an elevated shoulder girdle for all postural dysfunction. When we talk about the shoulder girdle, we're referring to the clavicle and the scapula on the posterior side of the rib cage that combine to house the glenohumeral joint. When we speak of an elevated shoulder girdle, we're talking about a hike or misalignment between the two sides where one is hitched up higher than the other. There are two primary causes for having an elevated shoulder girdle. The second comes from a misalignment of either the spine or the hips due to some kind of scoliosis or hip issue where they are hiked up to one side, and that can manifest in one shoulder being raised higher than the other. This is not really the focus of our project. This is something that we would want to refer out to a doctor, a chiropractor, or some kind of specialist to try and fix that primary issue that could then manifest in a more stable shoulder girdle. What we want to focus on is the local issue where I have tight musculature somewhere in my upper trapezius or my levator scap that causes this shoulder to be hiked up higher than the other. There are a few reasons that this can happen. One comes from carrying a bag on that side or talking on the phone for long periods of time where this shoulder is chronically hiked up higher than the other side. The other can cause similar to the tech neck where I'm reaching forward with my arms as I'm sitting at a computer. If that's too far away from me and I have to reach with my shoulders and head hangs forward, I can cause a dysfunction and imbalance from side to side. You can relax. So basically, what we want to do is start to get this tight, overactive musculature to start to relax. There are a couple different ways that we can do that. One is to get her to shrug up and actually feed into the pattern, squeeze that muscle, and then relax. And this brings more attention to it to our brain. So most tightness is a neurological stimulus. So if we can bring more attention, feed into it, and then let go, that can sometimes help as a stimulus to relax that muscle. If we need further work, we can do soft tissue work such as myofascial release, taking a lacrosse ball or some other implement and fitting it right in this tight area somewhere along this line right here. She could then pin that against the wall, breathe, move her arm through various ranges of motion, trying to break up little adhesions. We could also do passive stretching, where she lets her head fall to one side, gets a gentle stretch through this long musculature. If she wants to, she can add a little bit of gentle pressure with her hands. The last intervention that we looked at was a research study where we looked at women post-mastectomy surgery and the effects of using kinesio tape on realigning the shoulder and the scapula. And they found the very high effectiveness of post-surgery. The women that use this kinesio tape, they did scans on them to assess their posture before and after the intervention. And after using the intervention of the kinesio tape, found much better posture and alignment of their shoulder in relation to the rest of their body.